Good evening. A regular meeting of the City Council held in Council Chamber on Thursday, April 25th, 2019 at 7 o'clock p.m. for the purpose of transacting any and all business. Notice of this meeting was posted on April 23rd, 2019 at 9:44 a.m. This meeting is being taped and is live on SATV. Please silence any cell phones. All councilors present. Council President Dibble presided. Council Fury moved to dispense with the reading of the record of the previous meeting. All those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Will everybody please rise for the citing of the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilor Flynn.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public testimony is not to exceed 15 minutes, and luckily we have one speaker tonight, which is amazing, record for the last couple of years. With that, I'd like to invite Tim Jenkins up. We're going to keep it to 1 minute as we have been doing, if possible.
Yeah.
If you have a little bit over, that's okay with me. So your name and address for the record.
Tim Jenkins, 18 Broad Street. I'm here to support two nominations to the Historic Commission. Both, I think, one candidate's right here, a neighbor of mine, Stacy Norkin, and also Aaron Schaefer, who we all know, and both are very capable and I think would do a great job. So I hope you'll support them. Thanks very much.
Thank you. That concludes public testimony. Hearings, none. Appointments and reappointments.
We have held from the last meeting the mayor's appointment of Stacy Norkin to serve on the Salem Historical Commission with a term to expire on April 11, 2022.
Council Sergeant?
No, I'm all set.
Okay, sorry. Council Madore.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Under discussion?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I spoke with Stacy briefly today, and her motivation to serve on this commission came from actually her work on her historic home. So it does seem like a lot of the passion that we see through this commission stems from some of these residents owning their own homes and through the process of renovating their historic homes. Exposed to the process, and Stacy has been attending a lot of the commission meetings herself, so she would probably ease into the role pretty easily, and I'm really glad to see her enthusiasm, not just to serve on the commission. Now we have background music, which is nice to see, but also her interest in everything historic about Salem. So I'm really glad she's willing to serve and look forward to her work on the commission, and I fully support her nomination. Thank you.
Any further discussion?
I just have a couple
Council
questions.
Sergeant.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just, there was some question, there's two openings on the committee. So I'm just want to make sure these are filling two openings, not, it's not replacing Jessica Hobart, the chair of the committee's position. Can we clarify that?
Councilor Milo.
Just want to make sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm just looking at the letter, and it does say filling a seat that is currently vacant, so I'm gonna support this, assuming that these other two women are still on the council. I'm on the commission.
Any further discussion? Council Fury.
Councilor Dibble, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, just to confirm, all of the positions on the Historical Commission were full, and there were two present members that had resigned. With this one, it's Joanne McCrae. I received copies of the letters of their resignations, if you would. But with it, I'd like to make a motion, if I may, Mr. President.
Yes, please.
That Joanne McCrae served some 10 years, not just on the Historic Commission, but also to other things as well, for more than 10 years. But on the Historic Commission is what I'm speaking about. I'll miss her. I'll miss seeing her on a bicycle. All of us will, I think. Wonderful, wonderful lady. But she gave 10 years of service on the Historic Commission, and I'm motioning that we send her a thank you and a city seal.
I second that. Second.
All those in favor?
Thank you.
Right off.
Any further discussion? There being none. On the motion by, on the motion by Council Madore, Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Counselor Torrio?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Peterson?
Yes.
Counselor Milo?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Madore?
Yes.
Counselor Gerard?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Flynn?
Yes.
Counselor Dominguez?
Yes.
And Counselor Dibble.
Yes. Thank you. On the motion, 11 councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative, the matter carries. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have held from the last meeting the mayor's appointment of Amy's...
Mr. President?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry? Councilman Madore.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to suspend the rules to allow Ms. Norkin to address the council.
Absolutely, my
you.
apologies.
I'm sad I don't have background music.
Had an opportunity.
Thank you to both City Council and Historic Commission for my nomination and this opportunity. As a member of the Historical Commission and McIntyre District homeowner, my goal is to provide positive partnership to local businesses, developers, and homeowners alike. I offer nationally recognized experience with combining preservation and modern-day design, and look forward to the collaborative efforts put forth by all boards and commissions to continue the characteristic growth of our city and preserving what is innately Salem. Thank you.
Further appointments and reappointments.
We have held from the last meeting the mayor's appointment of Amy Stewart to serve on the Scholarship and Education Committee with a term to expire on April 11th, 2022.
Council Terrio,
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
under discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. I've known Amy for a number of years. She is a tremendous asset and will be great on this committee. She currently is the Associate Director of Financial Aid at Salem State University, so she knows a lot about the costs and the challenges that our students face in going on to higher education. And she's had a career out of helping them make that happen. So I think this is a terrific addition, and hopefully I'm embarrassing her a tiny bit with the words, but I think this is a terrific addition to the Scholarship and Education Committee, and I think she'll be a great asset.
Any further discussion? There being none. On the motion by Council Terrio, Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Counselor Torrio?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Peterson?
Yes.
Counselor Milo?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Madore?
Yes.
Counselor Gerard?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Flynn?
Yes.
Counselor Dominguez?
Yes.
And Counselor Dibble.
Yes. On the motion by Council Terrio, 11 councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative, the matter carries. Further appointments and reappointments.
Nope.
Oh, Council Terrio.
I know you're in a hurry, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules to allow Ms. Stewart to address the council if she wishes.
Absolutely.
Good evening. I just want to say thank you for the appointment. I am excited after working in higher education for 21 years. It will be exciting to work with the City of Salem with the scholarship of the students that we currently serve. Thank you.
Thank you. Let the record show that 3 councilors asked me tonight to speed the meeting right along. Last week I did attend the City of Peabody's City Council meeting, and they fly through their agendas. I'm told that it was a short meeting, but I was impressed. An hour and 15 minutes and it was done. With that, further appointments and reappointments.
We have held from the last meeting the mayor's appointment of Jennifer McAlpine to serve on the Scholarship and Education Committee with a term to expire on April 11th, 2022.
Councilman Madore,
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
under discussion?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I spoke also with Jennifer this afternoon, and just looking at her resume, she's very qualified, and she understands how important to provide that little extra resource just to students, especially in Salem, and how meaningful a small amount of investment and the kind of impact it can make in our students' lives. And so I'm really glad that she's willing to serve, and look forward to some of the outcomes of this committee. It looks like so many so many of our residents are stepping up to serve, and I'm really excited that there's more energy and renewed energy. So I fully support her appointment.
Any further discussion? Being done, Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Counselor Terrell?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Peterson?
Yes.
Counselor Milo?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Madore?
Yes.
Counselor Gerard?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Flynn?
Yes.
Counselor Dominguez?
Yes.
And Counselor Dibble.
Yes. Eleven councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative, the matter carries. Councilor Madore.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to suspend the rules to allow Jennifer, Ms. McAlpine to address the council.
Thank you, I appreciate the vote. I look forward to serving with Amy. I'll speak to you in a second. And my other committee members, and thanks for your time today to lead me and guide me through the process and just explain everything. Thanks again.
Further appointments and reappointments.
We have held from the last meeting the mayor's appointment of Erin Schaefer to serve on the Salem Historical Commission with a term to expire on April 11th, 2022.
Councilor Madore.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Under discussion?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Erin, she was our staff planner with the planning department for several years, and she staffed the zoning board of appeals, so she's very well versed in the land use regulations in our city and the importance of preserving the character of our neighborhoods. And unfortunately, because of her current role with the planning department in Danvers, she staffs the Conservation Commission, which meets every other Thursday night, and it conflicts with our city council meeting, so she's unable to be here today, but we all know who Erin is, and she's very well qualified to serve on this commission, and I fully support her nomination, even though she can't be here tonight. Thank you.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Mr. President. Along with that, I would move for suspension of Rule 29A to allow us to confirm this, and I will also note that one of these vacancies on the department is a person rather near and dear to me, because it's my wife who has stepping down after a little over 6 years of service. So, she will probably find something else to do, I'm sure, with 2 Wednesdays a month, but but I'm glad that she did this for a long time, and I'm glad to, I guess, get her back. Thanks.
Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just want to speak in favor of Erin being on the Historic Commission for the Friends of Green Lawn. She was instrumental in helping with getting some significant repairs and support from the Massachusetts Historical Commission for the Dixon Chapel, and she knows her way in and out of historic requirements, and she will be such an asset to this body that I'm thrilled that she wants to be here, because I was very heartbroken when she took a job in Danvers. So I'm glad we're getting her back, at least partially. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Councilor Fury.
Mr. President, if I may I request the City CEO, President Jane Torriello, for her love and service to the City of Salem and being on the committee. Thank you much, Councilor Torriello. Thank you.
Thank her.
It is 6 years of service. Any further discussion? There being none, Councilor Fury.
Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think it's really good that we're recognizing these 2 long-serving Historic Commission members. And they're going to have a reception to the Historic Commission, I heard, is going to have a proper function, a gathering to really recognize them, and we'll present the city seals there, I guess. But there's a third person that we totally skipped over that was replaced a while ago, and they wanted to recognize all 3 of them. And so with that, I'd like to move that Catherine Harper, who also served on the Historic Commission for 10 years, was never recognized, that we also include her and give her a city seal and thank her properly.
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Okay. On the motion, Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Counselor Terrell?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Peterson?
Yes.
Counselor Milo?
Yes.
Counsel McCarthy?
Yes.
Counsel Madore?
Yes.
Counsel Gerard?
Yes.
Counsel Fury?
Yes.
Counsel Flynn?
Yes.
Counsel Dominguez?
Yes.
And Counsel DeVoe.
Yes. Thank you. 11 councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative, the matter carries. Further appointments and reappointments.
We've held from the last meeting the mayor's appointment of Rosa Ordez to serve as an alternate member of the Zoning Board of Appeals with a term to expire on April 11th, 2021.
Council Terrio.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that this be held under the rules for additional meeting. Ms. Ordez can't be here tonight, but will be here for our May 9th meeting.
All those in favor? Opposed? Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of Patrick Shea to serve on the Zoning Board of Appeals with a term to expire May 1st, 2022.
Council Gerard.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Under discussion?
Briefly, just want to say thank you to Mr. Shea for continuing to serve, and we continue to appreciate his expertise on the ZBA. Thank you.
Any further discussion? There being done, Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilor Torrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Peterson?
Yes.
Councilor Milo?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy? Councilor Madore?
Yes.
Councilor Gerard?
Yes.
Councilor Fury?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
And Councilor DeVoe.
Yes. Eleven councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative, the matter carries. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of Robert Lutz to serve on the Salem Contributory Retirement Board with a term to expire April 25th, 2022.
Council Gerard.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Under discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. Just briefly want to say thank you to Rob for continuing to serve on the Contributory Retirement Board. We are very fortunate to have his expertise in, because this is his wheelhouse. So thank you, Rob.
Absolutely. Any further discussion? There being none, Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilor Torrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Peterson?
Yes.
Councilor Milo?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Madore?
Yes.
Councilor Gerard?
Yes.
Councilor Fury?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
And Councilor DeVoe.
Yes. On the matter, 11 councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative, the matter carries. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following 3 persons to serve as constables.
Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that they be received and filed.
Those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Communications from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $20,000 is hereby transferred as listed below in accordance with the recommendation of the mayor.
Councilor Peterson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption.
Under discussion?
Sorry, I move for suspension of the rules. And
Seeing no objection. Councilor Peterson.
I move for adoption.
Under discussion.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a request from the Human Resources Department, and it is to get them through the rest of the year. This is not a transfer. It's important to point out it's not a transfer from free cash. It's from the unemployment account that's already, it's just moving it around within their budget. And it has to do with the fact that they had a higher amount of employees to hire this year than they had been expecting. So I move for adoption. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. On Councilor Peterson's motion for adoption, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order that the city council hereby approves and accepts the conservation restriction agreement for the conservation of the recreational resource at 15 Ward Street, Salem, and being in the public interest pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 184, Sections 31 to 33.
Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Under discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. Before we go any further, if I may, there's a few people still left in the room, and I know that Tom Daniels and Jane Guy from the planning department are here, and there's a few other people here that haven't been appointed or something, and in the interest of trying to move them on, so if there's anything that Jane or Tom would like us to take up first.
This is actually one of them.
This is one of them? Oh, great. That's what I thought. So with that, I'd also put a motion on the floor to waive. I could sit here and explain why this is a good thing to do,
but since Jane and Tom are here, I would take a motion to waive the rules to briefly explain why this is a good thing to do, because I have all my reasons why it's in my ward, but at the same time, since Jane and Tom are here and they're very more knowledgeable than I am on it, I would waive the rules to ask them to address us specifically to this issue, and then move to two others that they have on the agenda. Seeing no objection, Jane?
Good evening, thank you.
Name and address for the record.
Jane Guy, I'm the Assistant Community Development Director for the City of Salem, and I live at 2 Thomas in Salem. A public benefit requirement of using CPA funding for a non-city property is that the holder of the property give a restriction to the city. And so for 15 Ward Street, North Shore CDC received $40,000 to create a park from a vacant site. It's a fantastic transformation. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it. And so the conservation restriction for this has been reviewed by the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs. It's been accepted by the Salem Conservation Commission. And following your vote of acceptance and approval, and then the mayor's signature, it will go back to the state for their final signature, and then it gets filed at the Registry of Deeds. And this guarantees that it will be a park in perpetuity.
Any further discussion? Any questions? Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's just a great idea, and if anyone hasn't had the opportunity to see the space, it was a vacant lot, and it's just the transformation and the benefit to the neighbors in and around that site, and just be able to go through this process and make sure that it's going to stay that way as a benefit for the neighbors is, I think is I'll use a no-brainer, I'll borrow a saying, and I would just recommend for approval.
Any further discussion?
By roll call vote, sir.
Yes. On Councilor McCarthy's motion for adoption by roll call, excuse me. Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilor Torrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Peterson?
Yes.
Councilor Milo?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Madore?
Yes.
Councilor Gerard?
Yes.
Councilor Fury?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
And Councilor Dibble?
Yes. 11 councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative, the matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order that the city council hereby approves and accepts the preservation restriction agreement, for the preservation of the historic resource at 211 Bridge Street and being in the public interest pursuant to Mass General Laws 184, Section 32.
Councilor McCarthy?
Couldn't see the order.
Sorry. No, yeah. I'll do it. Everyone's saying, why is it me? I go, because, I guess it's because we did it, we'll go to legal affairs, because it's in.
Yeah.
But I'll stand up and take it.
Councilman.
Because I'm just going to defer it right to Jane, so.
I'm sorry, Councilor, is this Ward 2?
It is Ward 2, but then.
Let me call on Councilman Madore.
She just asked me, and she said, no, go ahead.
Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you. I'm just going to say, I move for adoption by roll call vote.
On discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. I further move that we suspend the rules to allow Jane and Tom to address us relative to this issue, and I'm sure Councilman Madore will stand up after Jane gives her presentation to say why it's a benefit to that 211 has this restriction and for all the good work that they do. But at that point, I would just ask for suspension rules to allow Jane to.
Seeing no objection,
address us on it. Welcome back.
You again. So like the one before, this is a requirement of the CPA funding for a non-city-owned site. This is a preservation restriction, so it's different than the conservation restriction, which was for recreation. This is for historic preservation. It has been reviewed by Massachusetts Historical Commission. It has been accepted by the Salem Historic Commission, and following your vote of acceptance and approval, it will go back to MHC for final signature and then filed with the Registry of Deeds, and this will guarantee that this historic resource, which we've invested funding, it was $67,000, about $650 for historic window restoration, that it will guarantee that that remains a historic resource.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilman Madore.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to mention that this is such a great example of public-private partnerships, especially through the CPA process. The added benefit is that we actually have to take on this preservation restriction in perpetuity, despite that the building itself is owned by a nonprofit. It's on a public property, and the public benefit that this institution and the space it provides is just tremendous with arts and culture, and also it hosts a lot of NA and AA meetings. So I just think this is such a great way to use our CPA funds, and I just can't say enough about great things about the work that the Bridge at 211 is doing, and so I'm really glad that we're accepting this restriction. Thank you.
Any further discussion? There being none. On Council McCarthy's motion for adoption, Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilor Turiel?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Peterson?
Yes.
Councilor Milo?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Madore?
Yes.
Councilor Gerard?
Yes.
Councilor Fury?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
And Councilor Dibble.
Yes. 11 councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative. The matter carries. Mayor's informational page, none. Motions, orders, and resolutions.
Mr. President?
Sorry. Council McCarthy.
Thank you. If I may, Jane, what page?
13. I think it's 13.
If the council will indulge me, can we take out of order page 13?
Seeing no objection, Council McCarthy. Communications from city officials.
We have a communication from Tom Daniel, SRA Executive Director, submitting the following order. Ordered that the mayor is hereby authorized to execute all necessary documents to convey the parcel of 5 Broad Street.
Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Under discussion?
On discussion, this is the 5 Broad Street property. This body declared this property surplus, and this is I know that the planning department has been working very diligently over the last couple months because of the rules involved, and in a moment I'll waive the rules to allow Tom to address us on this regarding the trying to come up with the total, because as we all know that we as a city can't sell a piece of property for a certain percentage under assessed value. So I know they've been working hard with the developer relative to that, and they've come to an agreement. So without any further discussion, I would ask to waive the rules to allow Mr. Daniels to address us, to talk to us.
Seeing no objections?
About this.
Thank you, Tom Daniel, Director of Planning Community Development, and I think this hat is also SRA Executive Director. So the Redevelopment Authority was acting on behalf of the city in the disposition of 5 Broad Street, and this goes back, we issued an RFP over the summer. We received 3 proposals that were reviewed this fall. None of the 3 respondents met, as Councilor McCarthy was speaking, the minimum purchase price, which by city ordinance was established by an outside appraisal. So notwithstanding that fact, the SRA went through the evaluation process. There was extensive public comment provided through several meetings in November. And at the conclusion of those discussions, the Redevelopment Authority selected Charing Cross Realty Trust. Their proposal is the one to continue discussion with, the most preferred, because they did not meet the minimum purchase price. So since late November, the developer has been working to refine their proposal and met with the SRA several times to figure out how, if they can reach that minimum purchase price. So at SRA's meeting earlier this month, the Charing Cross came back with a revised proposal which meets the minimum purchase price. The modification of most substance that they made is to increase the number of units from 12 to 16 units. The other conditions of their proposal remain in effect. They're also adding in, which is another piece for further work, is looking at an application for the Housing Development Incentive Program. So any approval of that comes back to this body, in the form of a tax increment exemption agreement, similar to what was done for the district court property. You'll see in the materials that were submitted, they also are looking for making a request to CPA for funding to restore the cupola, which is about $125,000 to $150,000 expense. So the order is to authorize the mayor to continue the work that needs to happen. So there's a letter of agreement. This is the next step, and then working towards a land disposition agreement. And then obviously it's the whole permitting process that happens after that. Separately, as you know, there is the challenge of providing a permitting path for the project, but at this point, it's the request to be able to continue the process with this developer. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions, any further discussion? Councilor Milo.
Thank you, Mr. President. If I may, through you to Mr. Daniel. Just a quick question. So the request went from 12 to 16 units. They're proposing one affordable. Do we round that up or round it down if it's below the 0.5? How does that work for the affordable?
Mr. President, the request for proposals that was sent out stated a requirement of 10% of the units be affordable at 80% area median income. That reflects the planning board's practice for what's required during the permitting process, since there's not an established ordinance. So it was silent in terms of rounding. This application, as Councilor Milo noted, is for 16 units, so that would be 1.6 units. The planning board has, in practice, rounded up, but there's not a hard and set rule on that. So I think this is an area that can be further explored. For folks that were at the housing workshop on Tuesday, one of the other details that wasn't fully gotten into that night is the sort of the work of the group that's working on that zoning is looking at something called a fractional payment. So where there's a 0.6, there'd be a payment made to it. Again, that's not adopted policy right now. So it's something that remains, I think, to be negotiated during, the ongoing process.
Any further discussion? Councilor Flynn.
Yeah, I got a question. Through you, Mr. Chair. So we did meet the target price of what we were looking for. And this is good for the Salem taxpayers, that there won't be a burden of a loss on this building.
Through you, Mr. President, yes, we were, so it's $1.35 million, which we were very pleased they were able to achieve that. And as part of the declaration of surplus by this body, those funds will go towards the part of the financing plan for the Community Life Center. So it helps pay down that.
I'm glad to see this go through with no damage to people losing on the taxes this year, as far as losing, the money, and without having that overlay. I'm glad this is going forward. So I'm glad you found this way to do this. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. President, if I could just expand on that for one point, that another value that will come from this property is the taxes that it will be generating going forward once it is, complete and on the tax rolls. As I noted, the developer will be coming forward with a request to participate in the Housing Development Incentive Program. So that the way that program works is the increment, which in this case is all of it, that a portion of that would be abated for a period of time that could go into help finance the property. I wasn't 100% clear, Councilor Flynn, on one point that there is not a path to actually, for this project to be permitted at this point. So right now, we're pleased that the SRA is pleased that they were able to make this recommendation back to you, looking for approval to go forward to continue that negotiation process. In parallel, though, there needs to be work on that permitting path so that we can actually close on the property and they can build it, go through the work of doing it.
Any further discussion? There being none, Madam City Clerk. I'm sorry, Councilor Torrio.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just didn't raise my hand up high. Sorry about that. So just to kind of summarize, the In the short term, so we do have a path for getting this, for getting the property sold and meeting our target price, which will provide us some relief once that has been closed. But that closing, there will be a little, or some of an abatement on the property taxes that come in from it after the construction happens, for a period of time, assuming they're accepted to the HDIP program. And then the other thing to point out is that this won't close until until some kind of compatible zoning that will pass legal muster has been proposed and accepted by this body in order to enable that, because as of right now, as Mr. Daniel said, it's still not allowed there. So we can't close it until there's zoning that will allow it.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm sorry to beat a dead horse here. So just to be clear, so until we have that zoning, it's great that we have the purchaser, but that's still going to sit on our tax rolls until we change the zoning, until we get some sort of district passed that we can then change the zoning, correct?
Through you, Mr. President, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? There being none, Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilor Torrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Peterson?
Yes.
Councilor Milo?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Madore?
Yes.
Councilor Gerard?
Yes.
Councilor Fury?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
And Councilor Dibble.
Yes. On Councilor McCarthy's motion for adoption, 11 councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative, the matter carries. Councilor McCarthy.
If we could just keep going, Jane's still here, so one more.
Further communications from city officials.
We have a communication from Jane A. Guy, Assistant Community Development Director, submitting the budget to the City Council for the fiscal year 2020 Community Preservation Act funds.
Councilor Peterson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption.
Under discussion?
Yes, thank you. Similarly to some other items we've had tonight, since Jane Guy is here, I'd like to suspend the rules to invite her to address us on this. I had a nice discussion with her, but obviously she's going to be able to present it better than I will.
Seeing no objection, Jane?
Hello again. So this is sort of a procedural budget that we have to do. It's the same formula that we have used for the last 5 years. Essentially, the CPA budget is based on surcharge revenues that we estimate will happen in FY20, as well as the state match that has been announced to be 11.57%. It could increase as the state legislature adds money to the pot, but that's the number that we work with. So we have an estimate, and then this will be the first year from the Community Benefits Agreement footprint that we'll have some money as well for revenues. And so we're required by CPA regulation to put 10%, a minimum of 10% in housing, a minimum of 10% in historic, and a minimum of 10% in open space and recreation. And then we have a maximum of 5% in administrative expenses. And the rest of the money we put in a budgeted reserve so that we can use it for whichever project we want to use it for. What we have routinely done is, because we are not ready with the projects yet, we've often brought you in this budget and the project the same night, and you just kind of like, okay with this, and then we do the projects. We were ready with this, and I knew I was going to be with all the other stuff tonight, so it was easy to just put it on this one. So it's procedural. In the next couple of weeks, you'll be actually getting the projects, so the percentages won't really make too much of a difference. We always hit the 10%, and if not, we have to hold the money for the following year. Say if we didn't have a project for housing, we would have to hold that 10%. We're developing the funding recommendations. I expect to get them into you at the end of May.
Thank you. Any further discussion or questions for Jane Guy? Councilor Madore.
Thank you, Mr. President. Through you to Jane, can you elaborate a little bit just on what the administrative expenses are specifically? Thank you.
We pay dues to the Community Preservation Organization. They're the ones that help guide us with, it's a membership organization that help guide us with the CPA in general. It pays for my stipend. It pays for advertisements for the public meetings. And we usually do not spend anywhere near that. It winds up on June 30th, whatever isn't spent gets carried over and gets thrown into that fund balance. And we never reach that. It's just that we can do up to 5%, so if the CPC happened to get a project that came in and they wanted to order an appraisal for it, they have the money there to do it. So it's sort of a little slush fund that goes right back into the pool come June 30th if it isn't spent.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. On Councilor Peterson's motion for adoption, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before we turn to the regular portion of the meeting, is anyone else in the room that petition in front of us that wants to take it up before we...
We have a couple, so we'll just go through petitions.
You got another one? Where? Oh, okay.
Oh, we have pages.
We still got one more. What page, Jane?
11.
I'm sorry. 11.
We move to page 11.
So moved.
Thank you.
Two people here for petitions.
Committee reports.
Page 11.
You want to go to the middle for planning?
Committee reports, yes.
Money
Oh, okay.
planning.
Oh, okay. Mike?
Yes.
Which one are we handling here?
Middle.
Councilor Peterson.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem and City Council, April 25th, 2019, the Committee on Administration and Finance co-posted with Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of $40,000 appropriation from free cash to planning contracted services, has considered said matter and would recommend approval.
Under discussion?
I'm
sorry.
move that we accept the report.
On the acceptance of the report by Councilor Peterson, all those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Under discussion.
Thank you. We had a committee meeting tonight. It went well. We had a nice discussion. On this one, again, since Jane is still here, I am happy to move that we suspend the rules in case anybody has any additional questions at the council level here, but we had all our questions answered at the committee level.
Thank you. Seeing no objection, Jane?
So this is the five-year consolidated plan, which is essentially a master plan for how we're going to spend $5 million over the next 5 years with community development block grant funding. For the last 2 or more decades, we have hired a consultant to do this project. It is an extensive project. So this is the consolidated plan from 2015. It's double-sided, it's 219 pages. It included 50 tables, there's maps, there's census data that had to be analyzed. The consultant facilitated 12 public meetings and focus groups, which is important to have an impartial facilitator to do this, which is much better received than having me standing up there and doing it. They did approximately 40 consultations with various stakeholders. All of this information is then entered into a very complex system that HUD does. It's called IDIS. It's an online reporting system. The consolidated plan includes a needs assessment, a market analysis, a strategic plan, and I'll stop there, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Under discussion, any questions? Seeing none. Councilor McCarthy.
I only have one. It's not even a question, it's just a statement. If anyone has ever been to any one of these meetings, and I've had the pleasure of going to lots of them, is the amount of work that Jane does in her capacity to facilitate everything that goes on there. You want to talk about someone who is accountable to the penny, and she goes, finds them, and makes sure that everything in there is 100% correct, is Jane. And I can't tell you how many times we've gone to those meetings, and I hate to say it now, I just usually send the email to her, Jane, just put me down for, because a lot of times it's a lot of the same groups coming back in for the same services or whatever from the CPA money, but this is just, I mean, from the community for the block grant money, and Jane just does a fabulous job with it, and I just want to take the time, since she took the time to come here tonight, to actually stand up and recognize her for all the work she does on her end on that, and to making sure all of these things get accounted for and it's done properly. I can't speak highly enough for her.
Absolutely. She's been doing this high-quality work for several decades, so thank you, Jane. further discussion? Seeing none. Where are we here? We approve the, on the motion to approve the, adopt the recommendation. All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. I have lost my place on this agenda.
Now I'll ask the question, if I may, Mr. President.
Councilman McCarthy.
Is there anyone else in the room that's got a matter for us before we go back to regular?
Several petitions.
Faith in
Main streets.
Main streets and the
We
carnival.
should just do all the petitions.
We'll just go to petitions, make it easy. If we could, Mr. President, please.
Yes. Seeing no objection. Page 14, petition.
14.
Held from the last meeting, a request from the Multi-Faith Festival to hold their festival and use the city streets running between number 1 and 13 Hawthorne Boulevard on July 4th, 2019.
Councilman McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that it be granted.
Under discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. I had this past week and a half or so, emailing back and forth with Lieutenant Tucker relative to the festival. I have a letter from Lieutenant. I'm assuming that he's also had conversations with the group as relative to setup breakdown, what the restraints are going to be, what the constraints are. And at this point, I have no problem with approving it. And I want to thank Lieutenant Tucker for taking the time. I mean, that was the one flag for me. I have nothing against the festival itself. It was the fact that there wasn't this accompanying letter. I wanted to make sure that we were all set. I mean, the 4th of July is a busy time for everyone, but in and around Derby Wharf especially gets extremely busy. I just want to make sure that he was on board and understood what was going to be happening. So the police department's okay with it, so we'll make it work.
Any further discussion? Council Fury.
Mr. President, I hope this is the beginning of a long tradition for this multi-faith festival to take place on July 4th, a better date to have it, to celebrate our freedom and our freedom of religion. At 9 o'clock in the morning at the Salem Common, the recitation of the most beautiful document in our history, the Declaration of Independence. Way nearby, the multi-faith festival taking place soon afterwards. That night, community band, the band, July 4th, fireworks, friendship now being in place at Derby Wharf. What better place to celebrate our freedom and opportunity as a country. And thank you very much for the opportunity that we have. I'm looking forward to it. Makes us all bring us together as a community, and I think it's the beginning of a long tradition of bringing this community together. And what better way to do it is faith in our history. Thank you very much.
Well said, Councilor. Any further discussion? There being none. On the motion by Councilor McCarthy that the matter be granted, all those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Further petitions.
Held from the last meeting, a request from residents of Salem Street to hold a block party July 6, 2019 from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that it be granted.
Under discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. Lieutenant Tucker and I spent a lot of time emailing each other back and forth over the last week and a half. With regards to this, Lieutenant Tucker, with working with the city clerk's office, reached out to the individuals who were in charge of this event, and through those discussions and through some recommendations by myself and through the police department, basically it's been agreed upon that we were going to allow the 7 a.m. closure of the road for setup, but the event is not to start till sometime in the time period from between 10 a.m. and noon, and then the ending time will be 9 p.m. and the road will be reopened at 10, so that gives them an hour to break down. We felt that, we understood the need for setting up early. They do some bouncy houses, they've done them in the past. They said they've been instructed on where they're supposed to set them up to allow safety vehicles to traverse through the area if need be. So the police was aware of the event last year. They had some recommendations, and we've incorporated those recommendations into the agreement, the application, and Lieutenant Tucker's reached out to them, and so hopefully it goes off without a hitch. It's been an event they've had for the last couple of years, and hopefully it works. But when it came to the timing of it 7, I mean, everybody in this room looked at it. I mean, typically a block party isn't permitted for that type of time. And so we just wanted to make sure we reached out to them what the reasons were. And obviously we understood the setup end of it, but we felt that if we would start between 10 and noon and be done at 9 p.m., we felt that was plenty of time. And so that would be my recommendation to the council for their approval with those conditions.
Thank you. Just to clarify, Councilor, is it 9 or is it 10?
It's 9 o'clock that ends and 10 o'clock for the road to reopen. It gives them an hour to break down.
Okay.
We felt at that point they're going to have some music and stuff, so we felt 9 o'clock was a safe time to stop. And then once the music was stopped, then everyone would break down. Get the kids home.
Perfect.
End of the day. So.
Yep, thank you. Just wanted to clarify.
Yep, that's
Councilor
fine.
Dominguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I had the pleasure to be part of that great family-oriented activity down in the point. And every year they have a very, very involvement with the community. And I just wanted to echo what Councilor Ward 1 just say based on Tucker, Officer Tucker. I had the opportunity also to speak to the organizer, and they just confirmed the same confirmation that they gave to Councilor McCarthy. So I'm in big favor of that. I think that's a great opportunity to see the family together. And like they say, they need to clean the space before they place any bouncing houses or any other material that they're going to use over there. Thanks.
Thank you. Any further discussion? There being none, on Councilor McCarthy's motion that it be granted. All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Further petitions.
We have a list of licenses for limousines, public guides, and vehicle for hire operators only.
Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that be granted.
Under discussion?
No discussion, Mr. President.
Any further discussion? There being none, on Councilor McCarthy's motion that they be granted. All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Further petitions.
We have a petition from National Grid and Verizon to install one jointly owned pole on Canal Street.
Hearing ordered May 9th, 2019. Further petitions.
We have a petition from National Grid to install a conduit on Canal Street.
Hearing ordered May 9th, 2019. Further petitions.
We have a request from Salem Main Streets to close down Front Street on Saturday and Sunday, June 8th and 9th, 2019, to hold the Salem Arts Festival from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Councilor Madore.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for this to be granted.
Under discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. I believe that the only difference for this request this year, I believe it's the 11th year this year, for this festival is to extend the closure of the street to 7 p.m. rather than 6 p.m., just to allow a little bit more time for the breakdown. And I fully support this festival. It's one of the best festivals, in my personal opinion, in Salem. It always highlights what makes Salem, downtown Salem, so vibrant, and also families have such a great time, and all sorts of visitors come to our city and spend money. And I just think it's such a great weekend to be out there downtown. Hopefully the weather will be great. Last year there was a little bit of a sprinkle, but then it was still fun nonetheless. And also just want to, on a personal note, very quickly, just thank Kylie for everything you do, making this festival such a great one. And I urge everyone to attend this year.
Any further discussion? Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just want to quickly say what a fantastic organization this is, and also what a great event this is. We do have, to support the Salem Arts Festival, we do have a fashion show that's coming up tomorrow night at the Hawthorne Hotel. But also, again, I can't say enough awesome things about Kylie. Because of the wonderful work that she does, I have become a regular volunteer for this. It's been good 3, 4, maybe 5 years. Yeah, it's been more, it's like 6 years that I've been volunteering for this, and it just keeps getting better and better. So I hope that people come out and support the Salem Arts Festival and support their community. Thank you.
Thank you for volunteering. It's good. Any further discussion? There being none. On the motion by Councilor Madore that the matter be granted, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further petitions.
We have a request from Wreaths Across America to hold a carnival June 6th through 9th, 2019 at the Salem Willows, with the times from 6 to 10 p.m. on June 6th and June 7th, 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. on June 8th, and 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. on June 9th.
Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that be granted.
Under discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Lovely is with us this evening, and he's spearheaded the efforts in the city of Salem over the last bunch of years with regards to Wreaths Across America and honoring our veterans. And I couldn't say enough about what he does on behalf of our veterans. And I also want to give Mr. Lovely and his operator, I can't remember his name. Thank you. They showed up at the Park and Rec Committee meeting that I attended a week ago. A bunch of neighbors were there. They offered up a bunch of concerns relative to times when the apparatus would be brought in, when the apparatus would be broken down. They heard the concerns. They agreed to the conditions that are set forth in here through the Park and Rec Department with regards to when they can show up and set up. They're going to show up at Sunday after 9 a.m., bring the stuff, store it in the parking lot there. They don't work on Mondays, so then they're going to start set up on Tuesday. They're going to have everything fully set up by Wednesday, Thursday for their inspection, then start operation of the carnival. And I want to give them a lot of credit for being open with discussions relative to parking situation in and around there, the orientation of where certain things are going to be. I want to also give the operator a ton of credit. He bought a new generator this year, bigger, quieter, hopefully. He's invested a lot of money into it. So I'm going to support this because I support the cause, but I just want to, on a personal note, I'm just going to say that maybe when we look at October, we should start talking about whether or not we want to, I mean, this body had a big problem with bringing in a carnival on behalf of our public safety officials. Our chief of police stood here and looked at us as a matter of controlling 100,000 people and giving them a place to move. No one's come up with a better idea of how to move people yet. But, and everyone had an issue with regards to the operator, and we only make X amount of money. So maybe it's about time we look at entertaining the idea of having an operator that benefits a cause to do this, because, all the reasons this chamber was full of people that we as a body couldn't amend an ordinance that, last time I checked, we're the ones that make ordinances. We couldn't amend an ordinance relative to the common. And when you look at all the discussions that this body, when people stood up in front of this body and spoke about, they spoke about the grass, they spoke about, I would guarantee you, if I took a tape measure out, that, and I understand that the Willows and its location, you got water on one side, you got a hill on the other side, but I would guarantee you that the houses in proximity to this event are as close, or if not closer, to the ones that are happening that have occurred on the common. So, I mean, so maybe it's a discussion about if we're going to have a carnival or some event in order to control people, something that our public safety officials want and asked us to consider. Maybe we should start considering the fact that maybe if it was an event that benefited an organization such as this, that we'd all be more inclined to do it, because it seems like we were unable to come to that conclusion. And it troubles me that when our police chief stands in front of us and a captain who's going to retire, who's been on the front lines of haunted happenings for the last 10 years, asked us to consider this, and we wouldn't consider it. But without blinking an eye, because this happened last year, this body agreed to have this carnival down in the Willows. And for all the reasons that we denied it, the carnival on the common, I ask you to look as to what the difference is between that, other than the fact there's an ordinance in place that doesn't allow it to happen. So I agree, so I just wanted, that was my personal spin on this, is it's ironic to me that for all the reasons we couldn't put a carnival in the common, we're able to put one in the Willows because of the cause. So maybe it's, and I'm not disagreeing with the cause. I think the cause is great. I think they do fabulous work, and I'm sorry I had to say this because I know from our conversations in Park and Rec they do a great job, and it's nothing about them. It's more about our inability. Maybe it's our ability to find a cause for something on the common, because it seems like we can support a kiddie carnival on the common that benefits the Common Neighborhood Association. So maybe it's if we found something to benefit another organization or something we feel is proper, then we could have something that our police personnel would consider, but for tonight's purposes, I move that it be granted.
Council McCarthy, I just want to remind you, the city council did consider the matter.
Nope,
but
I know.
The common carnival issue is not before us here tonight.
Nope.
So with that, any further discussion? Councilor Dominguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm Echo. I was part of that meeting too on Park and Recreation that night, and I had to command Mr. Lovely and the gentleman. They respond, and not only respond, they wasn't comply with any request from Park and Recreation, and also from the resident that was there. Besides that, I wanted to maybe propose that we waive the fee to Mr. Lovely so he can go ahead and proceed and have the carnival on that day. And by the way, I just noticed that the carnival is going to be on my birthday. And my grandsons actually love to ride on those carnivals, so I'd be happy to be there.
Thank you. Any further discussion? There being none, can I see a motion on the floor to invite Mr. Lovely, suspend the rules, invite Mr. Lovely up because he's getting some free press possibly tonight on TV?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilor McCarthy. Mr. Lovely, good to see you.
Thank you. Same here. Mark Lovely, 14 Tanglewood Lane, Salem. I run Reach Across America in Salem. This is Larry Cushing.
He's behind it.
My name's Larry Cushing. I'm from Cushing Amusements. We reside in Wilmington, Mass. But the one thing that I want to make very clear to all the city councilors is that wherever we go, we like to make sure that we do the right thing. Whatever is asked upon us, whatever conditions are asked, because that's where we get to go back to the same place. My family's been going to Marblehead, which is your neighbor, and we've been going there since 1970. So I know we're doing something right, and it's very important to me that we leave the structure or leave where we're at as clean, or if not cleaner than where we came, and make sure we take care of the property properly. And do all the right things. I mean, I think that's all that can be asked for us. And what we do for Mark is a tremendous help to his organization, because everything we do, we basically work with all nonprofits on a regular basis. Just like at Marblehead, it's the junior class of Marblehead High School, and we raise money for different organizations that are trying to raise money for, something special is what Mark's doing. So hopefully you'll take into consideration everything that Mark has done and, grant this permit.
Councilor Fury? Councilor Fury?
Please. Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Mr. President. I asked for the suspension of the rules to invite you up here because we're live on TV, and it'll be played again. This is a really important effort that you're raising money for, but the public might not know why you're raising these monies. And just to reiterate the dates on here, for June 6th and 7th at the Salem Willows from 6 until 10 p.m., and then June 8th from 1 until 6 p.m. We have a nice carnival down there to raise money for wreaths to be placed on veterans' stones in cemeteries. Can you just touch upon that a little bit? Why do you do this, and how many veterans do you recognize?
Every year it changes the amount of veterans. But at Green Lawn Cemetery, the first year, this is the 6th year that I've been involved. The first year we had 486 wreaths with donations. The second year we had 890, somewhere in that neighborhood. Third year we had 1,600. The fourth year I had 4,500. Last year I didn't need 4,500. I received somewhere in the vicinity of 2,600. I had extras, donated some to Danvers, donated some to Beverly, donated some to Gloucester, Georgetown, with extras that we had. Because the previous year we had way too many. What happened was Reach Across America shipped me. I put in for 4,500, figuring when I first started, sooner or later going to do the whole city. So that was my goal. And they looked and they had the wreaths and it was time to ship. All their orders were filled and they said, send 4,500 to Salem. They called me, said they're on their way. So, but that was the problem we had that year, which that's a good problem to have.
Thank you. Through our president.
We put the wreaths on veterans' graves. My reasoning behind it and why I really like the program is It's to teach the children what the veterans, that freedom isn't free. I mean, if anyone that's been to the ceremony understands it, the children love it. I mean, they go around putting wreaths on the graves after the ceremony, and I mean, they just enjoy it. Mr. Lovely, we're gonna do this next year. All my grandkids, it's constant, and I only hear that from kids. I mean, from adults, I hear it constantly, that, I'd rather not get into it, but it's, let me, what do you need for help? I can use, we raise money, that's what we do. And everyone offers to help, but when it comes down to do anything, nobody can do anything. And that's the same in every organization, I understand that. So it's turned into a one-man show, and I'm happy with it. I'm cutting down on what I'm doing, because medically, I just can't do it anymore. And it's gonna be another great year. I'm looking for somebody to take over the ceremony. I still want to do the fundraising and continue doing the carnival. But getting the ceremony together is really the easy part. But after raising the funds, it's enough is enough,
Sure.
I want to thank everybody in Salem for
Through our president,
cooperation.
I want to thank you. I had the privilege of helping you, along with a few hundred other people, at the ceremony and lay wreaths throughout the cemetery. Very, very impressive, and it's very important for the younger people. And there are quite a few children present helping. Very, very important. I'd like to thank you personally, and I know that several other city councilors have participated in helping you lay the wreaths there, but I'd like to move that we send Mr. Lovely a city seal and our proper thank you for what you do for our veterans. I'm not asking you to stop. Do it every year. Keep going.
Thank you.
But we need to recognize you and thank you.
Thank you very much.
I second that motion.
Thank you.
Councilor Flynn.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I also want to thank Mr. Lovely for his hard work. I think this is one of the most important things that we do in the city. Not only honoring veterans, but also including police and firefighters. And I recommend that everyone does go to this event in December. It really is pretty touching when you go out there and you actually see the families of veterans and police and fire that passed away. And I've gotten so many thank yous from people that I've relayed to you and want you to know they really, really do appreciate that. It's really what Salem is all about, and I'm glad that we never forget our own. And I can't thank you enough. I'm so glad that you said the city seal. And I don't know if we have to make a motion for the good at large council about waiving the fees for.
We'd have to.
Okay. Can I make that motion?
Yeah. You can second it. He made the motion.
Oh, you did make the motion.
All right. Second it. Okay. Councilor McCarthy.
My only question, what fee?
The $100 fee from the city.
Is it a city fee or is it a park and rec fee?
I believe it's from the city.
It's a city fee?
Park and rec we pay. Yeah.
Okay. No, because we can't waive park and rec fees, so the city fee, I have no problem. It's fine. Okay. That was the only question. It's fine.
On the motion by Councilor Dominguez, seconded by Councilor Flynn to waive the fees. All those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. On the motion by Councilor McCarthy that the matter be granted, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Lovely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Further petitions.
With the following two drain layer contract operator license applications.
Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to be granted.
Under discussion?
No discussion.
Any further discussion? There being none. On Councilor McCarthy's motion that they be granted. All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Further petitions.
We have one drain layer bond.
Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that it be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, License, and Legal Affairs and returned approved.
Under discussion?
No discussion.
Any further discussion? On Councilor McCarthy's motion that the matter be referred to Ordinance, License, and Legal Affairs and returned approved. All those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Councilor McCarthy, where would you like to hit now?
Move the back to the start.
Page
10. I think it's 10.
Thank you.
Rosemary behind me has been keeping notes. She says page 10.
Further motions, orders, and resolutions. We are on Councilor Fury.
Yes, please, Mr. President, fellow members, if I may. In the council, April 25th, 2019, ordered that the Committee on Government Services, co-posted as a committee of the whole, meet to discuss the rotating of portraits in the city council chambers in city council, with additional portraits to reflect our heritage and our history in the 21st century, and that the following be invited: the city solicitor, public arts planner, public arts commission chairperson, local museums, and non-profit and private businesses. And if I may add a few more, if I may, Mr. President, Eileen Sacco, our city clerk, curator of the Salem City Hall, Jim McAllister, Salem historian, Nelson Dion, Salem historian, Bonnie Hurd, local author historian, Debbie Greel, arts and culture, former city clerk, Cheryl LaPointe, Rosemary O'Connell, who's in the chamber tonight, Ward 6 Neighborhood Association, and the Salem Moose. If I may ask for a friendly amendment to allow those people to be added tonight, if I may. Councilor Milo, can I ask for a second? To allow these...
Second.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Mr. President and Councilor. If I may.
Any further discussion?
Yes, please.
Councilor Fury.
Thank you very much. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose. Ecclesiastes 3, 1 through 8. I sincerely believe it's a time to rotate some of these pictures throughout the city hall. The PBD Essex Museum, where I work, rotates exhibits. We as a city council should consider rotating the portraits in this chamber and throughout the city hall to reflect the 21st century. Recently, we had Student Government Day here in this very chamber. It was a beautiful experience and a great tradition. I was watching with great delight each look around this beautiful chamber. We are the second oldest active city hall in the country. St. Augustine, Florida is the oldest active city hall in the country. This is a very special and beautiful historic gallery around us and throughout the city hall. Paintings of great history and heritage, but it does not reflect the demographics of the 21st century. Women, not one woman in this chamber. Not one minority. We have a rich repository of talents and resources to consider adding to our city council chamber and the city hall itself to make it reflective of the best of Salem. Salem State University, the Salem Academy Charter School, Salem High School Arts Department, Montserrat College of Art, and several local museums and art museums. If I may share with you one picture that one of my students did. From Amesbury, Massachusetts, that I had taught in for 20 years. He went on to Amesbury High School, went on to Salem State University. And I did many plays of Martin Luther King over the years, and I asked Scott Kimball, who played for Kenny Perone at Salem State University on the baseball team. I said to Scott Kimball, would you do a portrait of Dr. Martin Luther King? Wouldn't this be very special to have in the museum, in this very city council chamber, someone from Salem, a woman of minority, color? Look at this gallery right here. They're beautiful historic figures, a rich history of our culture and our history, but it does not reflect Salem. If I asked each of you to do a test tonight, to go around, who's who? I couldn't pass the test. As we go throughout the city of hall, I couldn't pass the test as a teacher of 40 years. Sincerely, the 21st century, I think this city hall has to reflect the 21st century. Curators are very special people. I work at the PBD Essex Museum. It's a love and passion to whatever they do. I don't think we could ask for a better curator than our city clerk. Over the years, she's done a wonderful job decorating this at Christmas time. Former city clerk Cheryl LaPointe. If we have a government services committee, maybe a one-shot deal, invite these people. If they don't want to come, they may not come. But we reflect a cross-section of people saying, what can we make it better? This beautiful council chambers and throughout the city hall. Make it a better city hall. For our young people to say, hey, these are role models for all of us to look up to. And there's no rush to do it. I'm not rushing. I may not be able to see this in my lifetime here in this council chambers. But it's worth the effort and the opportunity to start the ball and put this city hall in the 21st century. I've been here 36 years in public service. These portraits have been up for 36 years. I can remember them. School committee, city council. I think we need to change and reflect for the ante room next door, downstairs, first floor. I see the paintings in the mayor's office. We could rotate and change them. Yeah, I don't want to disturb this beautiful city council chamber with any holes and things like that, but things can be done. It can be done if we have the passion. So all I'm asking is, Committee on Government Services, look into that possibility, and she is in charge. I'm not taking any authority from our great curator, our great city clerk. We're just saying, here, this is what possibly we could do. And with these people that I possibly invite to come, maybe they'll add there. I can see, particularly Jim McAllister's great repertoire of paintings and what he could do in any of these people to make it a better chamber. Rosemary, Cheryl, and our city council chambers. So that's what I'm asking, is a meeting of the government services, co-posters, committee of the whole, think about what we can do to make it a better 21st century city hall to reflect the diversity, which we take great pride in the city of Salem. Thank you, Mr. President.
Excellent idea. Any further discussion? There being none. On Councilor Fiore's motion that the Committee on Government Services co-posted meet and discuss the portraits in our city council chambers. All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Councilor McCarthy. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem, City Council, April 25th, 2019, order that the Committee on Community and Economic Development schedule a meeting to discuss the matters brought forth by Salem United, and that the following be invited: Salem United, Mayor or her representative, City Solicitor, Director of Parks and Recreation, Police Chief, Ward 1 Councilor, and the Chair of the Park and Rec Commission.
Under discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. Ms. Wade from Salem United sent all of us an email relative to her concerns, and the decision was made to bring Ms. Wade and the people around the table in to discuss this, and that's what we're going to do.
Any further discussion? On the motion by Councilor McCarthy for adoption, all those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, committee reports. Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem, City Council, April 25th, 2019. The Committee on Legislation and Legal Affairs, to whom was referred the matter of granting certain licenses, tagged day C rooms, has considered the matter and recommend the following license be granted: Tag Day Salem High School Marching Band, December 14th, 2019. C rooms, Timothy Lynch and Paul Litch.
Okay. On the acceptance of the report, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Councilor McCarthy.
I move that they be granted.
Under discussion? No. Any further discussion? There being none. On Councilor McCarthy's motion that they be granted, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further committee reports. Councilor Peterson.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem and City Council, April 25th, 2019. The Committee on Administration and Finance co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of $35,723 appropriation from free cash for Forest River Pool and Bathhouse, has considered matter and would recommend approval.
On the acceptance of the report, all those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. On the adoption of the recommendation, Councilor Peterson.
Thank you. We had a great committee meeting, extensive discussion around the importance of this. I know the city is really eager and waiting for the Forest River Pool to be built, and so this is a really important step in that direction. So I move that we adopt this recommendation.
Any further discussion? There being none. On the motion by Councilor Peterson for adoption, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further committee reports. Councilor Dominguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. The City Council, April 25th, 2019. The Committee on Economic and Committee Economic Development co-posted with Committee on the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of meeting with East River Watershed Association to discuss the net zero water and policy and any other water use policy that might affect the City of Salem.
We have on the acceptance of the report, all those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. On the adoption of the recommendation, under discussion, Councilor Dominguez.
Yes, quickly, Mr. President. We have a meeting on the 22nd, April 22nd, And that was a very informative meeting where we listened from Mr. Wayne and also the director of the public service, Mr. Dave Norton. And actually they expressed how valuable it is. And at the end, we decided or to agree that the matter need to be held in committee for further discussion.
Thank you. Any further discussion? No. Councilor Peterson.
Just really quickly, I just wanted to add, I thought it was a fascinating meeting, actually. I didn't know much about that, and I was able to bring the discussion that we had in that meeting to the CERC committee the next day or a couple days later, and they are eager to be part of the conversation moving forward, so look forward to that. Thank you.
Councilor Sargent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, Councilor Dominguez did a good job running the meeting, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it, one of his first meetings, and he did well. And it brought to a constituent brought this to me about the net zero water policy. I hadn't heard of it. And what it calls for, although it's not law, it calls for a policy of all the communities taking water from the Ipswich River, a net zero policy. And they want us to use the same amount of water no matter how much development we have in the future. So if we're going to make so many more new units, we have to conserve along the way so that we don't have any gain in the water use that we take from the river and take from the reservoir. And I know that's a little controversial, but it's the point we're getting to. Much has been said about global warming and climate change. Well, the river's getting close to running dry at some times during the summer months. So it brought a few things to light. First being the net zero water policy. And Wayne Castingway came in from the Ipswich River Watershed Association and did a nice presentation. And he highlighted what was going on with the river. But ironically, it's the Salem and Beverly are the biggest users, but it's the smaller users who pull their water off well and thereby take it from the river in the summer months when the river's the lowest, that almost cause the river to go dry. Because the other thing that brought to light, and Dave Milton being on the Salem Beverly Water Board, brought to light how much good planning Salem and Beverly have done over the last 100 years, creating the reservoir, Wenham Lake being the main one, but two other ones also, and one with land in reserve, where we take water into the Wenham Lake from water coming down from the sky, but also we take it from the river during the months when the river's the highest, during the winter months, and we can store it in Wenham Lake. So even though we're the largest users, in the summertime we're having the least amount of effect on the river flow. So with that being said, we still have to be part of the planning process going forward and keep that river from going too dry in the summer months and do what we can. So thank you.
Any further discussion? Councilor McCarthy.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. I didn't have the opportunity to go to the meeting, but I'm very familiar with the situation because, when you think about it, I appreciate, we all should conserve water. Water's a precious commodity, but at the same time, we draw our water off from December till April, when it would just be flowing into just bypassing. So we stockpile it. And so then we don't draw any water off in the summer. We draw our water from the Wenham Lake and the reservoir. So when you see a lot of these other smaller communities that have well water depreciating the river, I understand they have an issue, but let's be 100% clear. Our issue, if you think about it, when was the last time Beverly or Salem had a water ban? It's because of all the good work we did years and decades and 100 years ago by developing a process of which we avoid that. Because we take the water and store it when it's most plentiful, when it would just be going into the ocean, and we store it, and then I understand and I respect the fact that we draw off the Ipswich water, and we have to come up with a plan, and everyone should conserve, but let's just take a step back. There's some people watching at home, no, let's not be alarmed. Because we as the city, Salem and Beverly, do a really good job and have done for a lot of years, making sure that we protect that resource and that we have adequate water for people. So I don't want to have any misconceptions. If Joe Keefe was here, he'd tell us all put a brick in our toilet and, save the water that way. So, we all should conserve, but at the same time I really appreciate we should look at all conservation methods but when the Ipswich River does get its lowest in the summertime, it's not because Salem or Beverly's drawing off the river, because at that point we've stopped. So just make sure it's clear for everyone at home. Thank you.
Councilor Torrio.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Ward 1 councilor just stole half of what I was going to say. I was going to remind about Councilor O'Keefe's maxim to put a brick in your toilet. But one other thing I'll point out about our water use and Beverly's water use is we used to draw about 5 years ago, we were drawing several 100,000 gallons a day more than we are now because we used to have a water-cooled power plant sitting right here on the shore with 4 turbines running, and the whole thing was water-cooled, drew right from our reservoir and put it back out into the ocean. And the new plant that's there is air-cooled, use a fraction of the water. So as a city, we've already dropped our water use by hundreds of thousands of gallons a day, and that's definitely a positive, and that's helping our reservoir and our water supply go farther and keeping Wenham Lake stockpiled. So that's a plus for us, and it's definitely helping in our impact.
Any further discussion? Councilor Fury.
Councilor Dibble, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. This is an important, really important. I agree with the Ward 1 councilor that Salem did a tremendous amount of planning 120 years ago, and we're in very good shape, and we do draw down in the winter months. But we draw down from the Ipswich River. So from a planning perspective, and again, our water is in good quality and sufficient. Okay, so there's no worries about that. We're in pretty good shape, and we have the option to expand with a 4th reservoir in Topsfield, which I was surprised to learn. I thought we only had 3. We do have 3, but we have ability and already own the land to do a 4th if we ever had to. So we're in very good shape, Salem, Beverly. Nice planning to those people 100, 120 years ago. But the other part of the conversation was on the Ipswich River itself, the quality of the river, and what happens. We had a dry spell a couple of years ago, and there was so much drawdown from other towns during the hot periods that all the fish in the river died. And it's in our best interest to make sure that this doesn't happen. In Salem's interest, the whole Ipswich River Watershed Association, every town, and it's sizable, maybe 20 towns. I'm not sure how many draw down from Ipswich, but there's a sizable number of towns and cities that draw down off of here. We need to make sure that the river is protected and in good quality. So if it means that Beverly and Salem needs to meet with the other towns and work with the Ipswich River Watershed Association to come up with ways that we can all work together to protect the river in the summer and the winter. It's not about water, it's about protecting the quality of the river as well, which is really important for everybody who draws down any water. Most of the cities in town, most of the towns that draw down in the summertime, they have wells that go deep, but they also have wells that go very shallow, that are only 15 or 20 foot below the surface, that capture a lot of water and draw almost right out of the river in through the 15 feet down below. So they're wicked shallow rivers that draw water out of the river very fast. These are not all deep wells to service the water in these towns. It's almost taken right out of the river during the hottest points of the year, during the hottest time of the year. So that's a bad thing. So we should work together to protect the river. Thank you, Mr. President. Any further discussion? There's being none. On Councilor Dominguez's motion, on the recommendation, all those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, so we're going, looks like we're on page 14. Is that right, Madam City Clerk?
17.
Unfinished business.
17. We already did that.
17.
17.
Unfinished business, none. Any further matters? Councilor Fury.
Motion adjourned, Mr. President. Motion
adjourned. All those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, Councilor.